I have a husband with a terminal illness. I just started a brand new business that is not even in my expertise. I have 2 kids. I have no family here, and he has no life insurance. I have absolutely nothing to fall back on. Absolutely nothing. So at that point, it was sink or swim.
Welcome to the It Gets Better From Here podcast, where we help divorced women rediscover their true self, reclaim their power, and rebuild a life even better than before. This week, we're talking to Bianca Davis, founder of We Do Brows. It's going to be such a great conversation of tragedy and triumph and rebuilding yourself after everything has basically been taken away from you. So stay tuned. And if you like this episode, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I would love to just have you share with our audience what you do and your journey to get there.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I want to say Instagram is amazing, right? Because it's this is the new way of networking. I remember back in the day when you used to go to networking events and you had the little name tag that says, hello, my name is, right? We don't have to do that anymore. So I'm so glad that we have, a platform like this now where we can do that. So I'm originally from Germany. I was born and raised in Germany. And I know you didn't even know this, huh? I don't share this enough.
Oh gosh, I thought wow, okay.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Germany, and I met my first husband there. He was actually military. Okay, he was in the U.S. Army. So I'm a real German, born and raised. My whole family lives in Germany. To this day, I'm the only one here, me and my children. And we got married. We had 2 kids, and my boys are 22 and 20. Okay, so
I am shocked, guys. If you can see my face right now, I'm just if you are only listening to this, please pop on over to Instagram at Sherille Marquez or YouTube, also Sherille Marquez, and look at how gorgeous this person is. She's beautiful inside and out, and you look like probably their sister.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. I tried to keep it up. It's hard, but we gotta do our best, right? So,
Yes.
so I came from Germany and we were married. And when my kids were very little, we actually got divorced. Okay. So I have gone through the whole process of being divorced, being a single mom, and living in a whole nother country with no family. Right. So that was tough. That was really tough. And then I started working in the banking industry, and then I met my second husband. And he was an amazing man, helped raise my boys. He was pretty much a father to them while their real father was in the military and was stationed in many places. So even though we have a good relationship, but still, he wasn't able to be as present as he probably wanted to be. So then with time moving on, I was working in banking and financial software, super freaking boring, right? Not me at all, because I'm a girly girl and my passion is beauty, it's hair, it's makeup, it's all of those things. And I wanted to break out of that. And I said, okay, I am going to leave corporate America. I don't want to do the 9 to 5. I'm tired of it. I'm traveling. It's just there was just something in me that told me I just didn't want to do this anymore, right? I was losing time with my kids. They were growing up. At that point, they were in middle school. And I just wasn't there. I wasn't there. He was the one who was taking them to practices and haircuts. And he was the one who was doing homework with them. And I was traveling sometimes a week at a time and losing out on Halloween or birthdays and certain things because you just can't say, well, I'm not going, So that's just not how it works. So I said, okay, I need to get out of this. So I decided to go into my passion of beauty. And I said, I don't really know where to go yet, right? And so I said, let me go ahead and start with an aesthetics license. And so I went ahead and enrolled in school. And halfway through school, I am on social media because where else would we be? And I'm scrolling through it and I see an eyebrow. I see microblading for the first time. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? I was just so fascinated. And immediately I was looking for training. And it was so new. There was really no training anywhere nearby. So I made a decision in an instant. When I see something, it's just I I make a decision and I get into tunnel vision and I just like figure it out as I go, right? Like I don't like, I'm not indecisive. So I just kind of like go for it, which sometimes can be a bad thing, trust me. But a lot of times it serves me well. So then I went ahead and I jumped on a plane. I got trained in microblading. I came back and I started my business in 2015. Okay. So I started out like so many people in the beauty industry. I rented a room and I figured, okay, well, if I just have like at least one client a month, that would pay for my rent. And I'm like, I was thinking that small minded, right? And I started to really show up on social media, okay, like instantly with my business. And even though I didn't know how to, like, at that time, like 8 years ago, we didn't really have reels or any of that stuff yet. It was just all Facebook and it was just pictures and posts, right? So that's really, I just, on my personal line, I just started putting things out there and my business really took off. So now I am 6 months into the business and my husband is diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And we're just sitting there and we're like, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, it's like, it's news that you get that like, you always feel like that's not something that will ever happen to you, you know? You never think this will happen to you. And in an instant, your life changes overnight. And then the best part about it is that literally 3 months before I said to him, you need to get life insurance.
I love how that works just intuitively too. And Bianca,
But
I'm
guess
just,
what? He never got it.
oh shit.
He never got it. He never got it. So now I have a husband with a terminal illness. I just started a brand new business that is not even in my expertise. I have 2 kids. I have no family here. And he has no life insurance. I have absolutely nothing to fall back on. Absolutely nothing. So at that point, it was sink or swim. Sink or swim.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, when you don't give yourself an option, you either make it or you break it. I mean, that's there's no other way. And that's
Yeah.
the thing too. And I love your entrepreneurial spirit because I very much resonate with it. The decisiveness, when you make a decision, you're go. And sometimes, like you said, it doesn't serve us well because it's like, wait a second, I should have probably slowed it down a little and processed it a little bit more. But obviously, it served you well. It serves me well more than the not. Because
Right.
the other side of that is inaction.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then you watch yourself, your life, like 5 years has passed and shit, you're in the same place.
In the same
But
place. Let me tell you something. Whenever you plan to do something and you plan and you try to like think of every obstacle that there could be, it's not going to be that way anyway. You're going to change things as you go. You're going to pivot constantly. You know, like so many people watch me on social media and they're like, oh my God, like they feel like I have it all figured out. And I'm over here struggling to figure out how to bring my views up or how to do this or how to do that. Like there's always another level, you know?
I couldn't agree more. That's the beautiful part about the human evolution is that there's always going to be another level. You
Mm,
know, to reach enlightenment is honestly like the ascended masters. And I don't know how many lifetimes that's going to take for that particular soul's evolution.
right.
And the other thing, too, I love this point that you're making here because when you are telling me about your journey, this is the beauty of and I'm so glad we connected here, and thank you Instagram, thank you, you know, social media gods and just the technology, because you're the type of woman, human being that I love to be around. I love to be inspired by. You're already doing it. You already have an established business figuring it out, but yet you invested in a high ticket program. You
Yeah,
see, like, exactly. When I
absolutely.
tell right, I tell my clients you know, I don't work with everyone. Here's the thing. I don't work with everyone. I'm sure you don't work with everyone. They have to be, you know, vetted out. At least that's how I work. And I tell them too, I said, you have to have a level of just lens that look at the coach that you're interviewing and see if they're being coached.
Right,
See if they have a mentor, because
right.
if they're not themselves elevating no, even if we're at a certain level, well, then that says something about that person,
Yeah.
you
I
know? So, but to your point, I love this.
100%. Thank you so much. And it's like, I always say cream rises to the top and you never stop learning, and it's like, if you change nothing, nothing changes. So, you have to go through the motions of always constantly learning because, you have to be somewhat invested in your own success. And I always love it. Like when I see people, especially now with this whole digital marketing thing that I'm really heavy in now, right? So I love my beauty business and that's going to be my passion forever. But also I can only touch so many people at a time. And if we really want to scale into the world to where we have Wi-Fi, we have social media, we now have a platform where ordinary people and everybody can make as much money as we truly want, right? But just because there are so many closed-minded people who cannot wrap their brain around it, it's automatically a scam, right? which is
Yes.
which is so crazy. And they're like, oh, you know what, I bought something like this once before and it was a scam. Now let me ask you this: was it really a scam, or did you buy something and thought that with your purchase you were going to unlock success? Because that's not going to happen.
I love this, Bianca. Boom, real talk. And that's what this show is all about. 100%. And you know what I love about, guys, you need to follow her, Bianca. Okay. It's at We Do Browse on Instagram. You need to look at her stuff. And this is what I love. I fucking give you props. I've been commenting on your stuff because I'm inherently a cheerleader. I swear to you, for myself, for other people. I love people that are doing well, and they're doing the right things, and you're also not gatekeeping. You're sharing what you're doing. Obviously you can't share everything for free. There also is a price. It's an energetic exchange. I'm not going to get into the metaphysical of money, but
Right,
anyway,
right.
yeah.
But
So you're,
also the thing is like you can only share so much too, because
yes,
not everything is going to make sense taking it out of context, right? So it's like
right.
I can only share the things that are making sense to you right now, so that you can make a decision to actually lock into something broader and greater that gives you like the full picture. And I think a lot of times, including myself, I'm not even gonna lie, like I was the same person, like I need to do all this. I'm going to figure this out myself.
Mhm.
And I go over here and I'm figuring out, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Google and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm frustrated. I am wasting my time. Okay. I am struggling to do whatever it is I need to do. I remember like a few years ago, 3 years ago, I tried to start kicking off online courses. And I was like, if I could just have a person who could like literally show me how to put the whole system in place, right? I'm not talking about, oh, you're going to show me how to do email marketing, or you're going to show me how to do a sales funnel, or you're going to show me how to make the course, right? Like I want somebody who can like make this whole wheel go. That's what I really wanted, and I could not find that. And now that it's finally available, it's like people are still thinking about it. And that's what's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I love, because you only know what you know. And
You
what
only
I
know.
was saying about what you do is that you, with the scam, you
Mhm.
are showing them, dude, okay, let me tell you what a scam is. Oh, boom. And it's not to brag. It's not to, impress. It's to impress upon that, hey, this can be possible for you. But opportunities pass people by all the time, but
Right.
passing by, sometimes you stop it because you are cognizant, and you, like me and you, we are decisive. We know what feels right. We go for it and figure things out along the way. I just want to interrupt this video real quick to talk about something that is really important and super exciting, which is my upcoming workshop, Biohacking Your Best Life After Divorce. I am going to be teaching you how to heal the hurt, how to get unstuck, how to rediscover your true self and rebuild a life even better than before. I am going to be using concepts that blends science, spirituality, alternative healing modalities, and a lot of personal experience, because believe me, I have made a lot of mistakes, and I do not need you making the same mistakes, because that's what the workshop is for. So make sure to join me. All of the information is going to be in the show notes for my upcoming workshop, Biohacking Your Best Life After Divorce.
Right.
And then there's also the ones that are like, oh God, the perfect time. This, I don't know, because I
Yeah.
looked, I did research. I love your, it's, tell us about your program. Like it's
Yeah, it's
$500 and a
literally
Wi-Fi.
one
I love that.
time. Yeah, it's literally a one-time charge. It's $500, $497, right? And it's a one-time charge, and in there you'll have like a whole. It's a program. It's not like a course where you watch videos and then you're done. It is a lifetime access platform that continues to grow with content to teach you how to set up a business in a digital manner. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you are trying to sell a physical product like a pen, or if you're trying to sell a digital product like a guide, or if you're trying to sell a course, or maybe want to have more bookings for your beauty business, or maybe you want to have training classes in person where it doesn't matter what it is, right? It doesn't matter if you're trying to cut somebody's lawn. We all need
Mhm.
to do marketing, right? And so
Right.
that's what it teaches you. It teaches you up from your branding, how to set up all of your sales funnels. Because the thing is, we only know like the brick and mortar kind of interaction. So if we have a store and we sit there and we basically sit in our store and we wait for people to come in every day to check out our store, right? And then when somebody comes in, we will have a conversation. We will let them know what our deals are and our specials, and they will walk around, and then and then hopefully they buy something. And if not, now they know who we are, right?
Right.
That is what a sales funnel is. Okay. Because now everything is happening in a virtual world. So now we have to take you, who is landing on my Instagram. What is it that Bianca is doing? I want to know more about this. Now you have an opportunity to go into my virtual store, so to say, and you can learn more about it. So that's really all that is. But there is a certain mechanism and a certain system to automate this whole piece. And if you are somebody who doesn't know how to do that, then this is the platform that teaches you how to do it step by step without any experience. Basically, that's it. Anybody can do this. As long as you have Wi-Fi and a laptop, you can do it. And I think what intrigued me about this particular course is, one, it's comprehensive, where it teaches me the whole wheel that I just talked about, right? Like all of it, not just the IG part or this part, it's all of it. But here is where I made that decision. I was just like, I'm selling it, right? I was scrolling through social media, again, like how I found microblading, the eyebrow. And I'm scrolling and I'm looking at it and I'm like, what intrigued me is that it was a product that had rights to be resold, meaning 100% resale rights. So basically, what that meant to me, being that I'm in business and I am already selling physical products, professional tools to other artists, I'm already in a world of what they call white labeling and private labeling. Okay.
All
All this
right.
is just doing it in a digital form. So I didn't really have to learn a lot more about it. I immediately recognized what that was, because that's gold. That's gold. Like, no inventory, because it's not a physical product. So it's, if you can ever relate to real estate, it's like flipping houses without having to buy a new house every time.
I couldn't agree more. And in fact, that is why I also got into. I have a Shopify store, and I have
Hmm.
it's called the Divine Apparel, and it's inspirational streetwear.
Hmm.
Well, I have not actually marketed that yet, because I have to. When Instagram, somehow, some way, my social media manager said that sometimes other competitors do this, where they report you as
Hmm.
like a fraud or a scam. So that happened 3 times, and they closed the freaking account. So that, honestly, yeah. So that, exactly, that's how I felt. I'm like, you know what? I have to focus on my main ship, which is my, transformational coaching business, and I'll
Hmm.
get back to that. So
Right.
for our audience, the listeners here, just know I'm going to launch that at some point in time, because I put in a lot of hours. I got a whole team working on it, but I'm like, fuck that. You know what? That's a
Right.
sign. I gotta just pivot again and,
Hmm.
refocus here, and then I'll do that later. But I
Right.
love everything that you're saying, Bianca. Your personality, we would be friends, to be honest. Like, remember
Yeah.
I told you, if you ever come to LA, and if I ever go to Florida, I'm
Yeah.
gonna hit you. I told you, I was like,
Yes.
My eyebrows need a touch up. Like, I wish you were here. Remember I said that?
I got you.
Yeah, for sure. No, because I'm putting it out there, you're putting it out there, it's going to happen. Our paths
Yeah.
will cross like in person. And here's what I want to ask you, because I'm just like, my jaw is still on the floor with your journey of your courage and your bravery to even leave your family, start a new life, start over again with kids. How did you juggle all of these responsibilities? And with, I mean, how did you do all of that? It's
Oh God.
incredible.
Well, I think there are definitely a few variables to that. I think for one, if you're backed against the wall and you don't have a choice, you can either make it or break it. And I definitely made the decision to make it. What I did is, or what I do when I'm under pressure or when I'm in a situation to where, something important is on the line or I'm just dealing with stressful situations, I choose my business as an outlet.
I love
Okay.
that.
So actually what I am creating, it becomes my outlet and I kind of turn a little bit into like workaholic mode. Okay. And I spend every minute in trying to build something positive in a negative circumstance. Okay. That's what helps me mentally. And then also, obviously, it pays off for something that I'm building. One of the biggest things I can tell you is that just stay focused on the prize. Don't internalize what's happening. It's okay to kind of like have your moments. Yes, I was sitting at a traffic light and you just have your moment where you cry, but then it's like
Mhm.
you clean yourself up and you go inside and you're okay. Good morning. How you doing? So it's like you just got to keep moving forward because if you stop, it will all stop with you.
That's right. And also, Bianca, you and I both have been single moms. We are single moms,
Mhm.
right? You can only give yourself a certain window to honestly break down, and then you got to pick yourself back up, because you have two humans that were brought into this world that picked me to be their mom, to
Right.
guide them. And
Right.
you don't have you're not in a place where you could just stay there, nor should you, even if you're single. Pick
Right.
a date. I tell my clients, listen, feel the feelings, because you need it. Because if you suppress it, it's going to come out with a vengeance somehow, some
Right.
way, when you least expect it. So allow yourself time, but don't stay there, man. Like, don't
Don't
stay there.
stay there. Right. Don't stay there.
Yeah, you got to pick a date. That's what I tell them. Pick a date, and that's when your new beginning. And you could have so many new beginnings. I don't know how many new beginnings you probably
Oh my
told yourself
gosh.
on this
Yes.
journey.
Oh my
Me
gosh.
too.
That's just it. I feel like sometimes people who are stuck in those places are people who are afraid of failing, right? For me, failure doesn't exist. It just doesn't. It just means that whatever I was trying to do didn't work.
Right. I
You see
couldn't
what I'm
agree more.
saying? It's
Oh,
like it just didn't
absolutely.
work. So that means I need to do something else. Or it
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean I need to do something completely else. Maybe I just need to do it a little different. But
Right.
that's kind of like what the whole journey is that everybody always talks about. So if you're not willing to have those feelings of like where it's difficult, where you're constantly trying to get something going and it's not producing it right away, it takes time. It's like we're so in such a world of instant gratification.
Mhm.
If it
I
doesn't produce results within the first 3 tries, then it's like, I can't tell you over the last 8 years of how many beauty professionals I've coached, right? Just like through like DMs and things like that of people who are asking like, oh my God, can you help me or give me advice on like how I can book more clients? That's always the number one issue, right? How I can book more clients, and the first thing I do is, okay, what is your Instagram? What is your Instagram, right? If it's not the one that they're DMing me from, right? So then what I see is usually they're like, oh, I've been trying. So the first thing I do is when I go to their Instagram, what I look at is I look at the last 5 posts and I look at the timestamp.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So when somebody asks me, like, I've been trying everything, I've been posting, da 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 da. Okay, you have put out 7 posts in the last week. Great. Before then, the last time you posted was in October of last year. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to understand it's kind of like people treat their business, they treat the social media platforms like you need to treat it like a relationship. Okay. You have to understand that, for one, this is a way to do marketing for free, right? This is like an opportunity. So you don't have to pay for it. So the days of like paying for flyers and, and all that type of stuff, you don't have to do that anymore. You can do it all yourself. All you have to do is show up, right? So it is like a relationship. It's kind of like you can't just like come and see me for a week and then you're gone for 5 months.
And expect me to,
And
do my
expect me
part
after
and
5 months to be like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back. You need to come in. Like, it's no. Like, first of all, how can I trust you? You broke my trust.
right. You're
And people
inconsistent.
do business with people who they like and trust.
I couldn't agree more. But that show up for them and that they can depend on.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We have to treat it like relationships because it is a relationship. It's a relationship with your people, with your community, with your clients, with, all of that. And I take that very seriously.
I love this. And that's truly what it's all about. And Bianca, I resonate with that. And I think a lot of listeners will also. And as far as being on the other side, as far as a consumer, as far as seeing who they can truly connect with. And that's why I launched a podcast, because the little clips here and there, that's not enough. It's not enough to get to know you. And there's
Right.
a great book that I read. It's called Oversubscribed, and they talk about touch points. People have to see you at 4 different locations. That's social media, that is YouTube, it's a blog, it's podcast. They have to consume 7, I might get the numbers wrong. They have to consume 7 hours of content, and then they need to have 11 touch points,
Mm-hmm.
interactions.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what builds trust. And I was in a high ticket coaching program for my business before the one that I'm in right now. Shout out EAA. I love you guys. So the other high ticket program, when I answered my calling, because I came from a 9 to 5. I
Mm-hmm.
came from, what do I know about a heart centered business? I don't. I just have the gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So, how they wanted me to show up is doing these Facebook Lives. And mind you, I did not do the organic route because my program is teaching me to do it through paid ads. So, I'm collecting people that are resonating with my ad, my story. And then as I'm collecting them, I'm supposed to show up minimum 3 times a week on a Facebook Live and sharing my story, but then pitching them and selling them. Like, if you like, how the hell, like, it didn't resonate with me, because me being on, I always put myself on the other side. What is that going to feel like? What does that look like? I don't like being sold to. And it just felt so inauthentic. So
Right.
I paid a lot of money for that freaking program. Like, I'm talking about a lot of money. And I finished maybe 3/4 of the way. And I was like, I'm no longer aligned here. I got what I needed. And I think that's what our community here also needs to know, is that you can, like you said, you can push through as far as you possibly can. And you have to be able to decide when you need to pivot and
Right.
when that is,
Right.
right? Because then
Yeah.
you will burn out and it's
Yeah.
not going to
And you
feel.
and you have to really become clear on your vision of like what you want to do, right? I think I come across a lot of people, especially in the online space, oh, I wanna make money online. Okay, what is your goal? Like, how do you want to make money online? Do you want to create something? Do you want to have a product? Do you want to have a service? Do you want to coach? Do you want to, what do you want to do? And I think I see it a lot, especially when I put up my content about how to design products, because I think it's a lot of fun, like using Canva and Printify, right? Where you can create like all these amazing like merchandise, that is super fun to do. And I think we all like can relate to the fun part of it, but then it's always like the next step is like, well, how do I market it? And it's like, that's always the missing link. Like, you have to keep going. I always say you can make $1 million selling doorknobs, period. Okay. But if you have a product and you're not putting the right systems behind it, you're going to be broke.
That's
It
right.
doesn't matter if you have the best invention. It doesn't matter if it's gold. If nobody knows about it, no one can buy it. You know?
Right. I love this. It's true. Not only is it insightful, but it's true. And for me, just to piggyback off of that, I knew, like I said, I hired a coach because in the beginning I didn't know what to do. I established a small plumbing company with my ex husband. For me, that's still 9 to 5. This is not a heart centered where you are the face of your company. You are the face of your company, Bianca. And so for me, like I had to really like get to a place where, okay, I'm doing it no matter what I have to do, no matter who I have to become. This is what I'm doing, and all hands on deck.
And
And the pieces are
that's
gonna
it.
fall into
That's it.
place.
And something that I've heard that I was told recently, which like really hit me and resonated with me. My boyfriend said to me, people sell from their pockets.
That's
Okay.
beautiful.
That is so like it makes so much sense though, right? Because people always kind of
Yes,
sell based on like how people sell scared,
yes.
because they don't want to ask for the money or the sale because they feel like they couldn't afford it or they wouldn't be able to afford it. So they don't think other people, like, we cannot sell and build a business based on assuming what other people can and can't afford, right?
I couldn't agree
So
more.
I think that's just, remember, Tiffany's sells $1,000 paperclip.
Yes,
Just let that
that's
sink,
right.
just
That's
let.
right. Let that sink in. Exactly. Let that sink in. And it also has to do with the value that you're giving. And for you, you're helping to transform lives. What is that worth to you by, allowing them this opportunity to learn how to have a passive income by digital marketing? I am, what is it costing you by staying stuck for my clients? It's like the solution is here. I'm giving you guys the answers that took me 10 fucking years to figure out, a lot of heartbreak, pain, and suffering. And
Right.
I'm literally giving you the fucking blueprint.
the,
And
the,
so,
the blueprint, because let me tell you, when I started my beauty business and I built my business, in the first 12 months I made $1 million in permanent makeup. Okay, it went bananas, it went crazy, I moved really fast. I started training classes, I was doing them every week, I started hiring. Then I started building a franchise system. I started opening multiple locations, and it was going all through the state. And I just opened my first one in Cali, and then the pandemic hit. Okay, so now what do? I'm in a service-based business. That means if we're not touching clients, we're not making money. So my girlfriend, she was my operations manager at the time. I remember we just got the notice to shut down. I told her, I said, bring your laptop, come to the house. I was like, we're going to do virtual trainings. And she was like, what? How are you going to do that? I said, you're going to figure out the logistics and how to like automate the whole signups. Right. And I was like, and while you figure this out next to me, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get on Instagram and DM everybody who I know. And I'm going to offer them the virtual training at 50% off. We're sitting at home anyway. After 4 hours, I generated $10,000.
love it.
Okay. So you just have to get into action. If I would have sat there and like perfected out this plan, if you're trying to be a perfectionist, you will never get anywhere. Let it go. It doesn't matter if the font is point 0.8 or 0.9. Okay. It doesn't matter. Just get it out there.
I
That's all
love
you really
this.
do. So now as we're going through this pandemic thing, and I'm thinking, there is really something there. And I think that was really my eye-opening experience, because during that time, my back completely gave out. So I had back surgery. And at the same time, I lost my left kidney. So I was going through like some heavy health issues. And I was thinking, if I am not working, if I am not managing people and clients and doing all of that, then how am I going to make money? And how am I going to secure retirement if I have a bad back? How am I going to get out from behind the chair? Yes, I love what I do, but I can't be there
Mhm.
so many hours of the week anymore. Like, I physically can't do it. So what am I going to do? So I think the pandemic was a silver lining. And that's where it really like pushed me into like the online space. And then that's when I really said, okay, I need to take advantage of that. And I think that's why I really want to like encourage, everyone in this field who wants to do something online. Just go for it and don't think about making it perfect. Just start putting things out there. That's it. Just start. Just start.
Just start. That is absolutely beautiful. I couldn't agree more. And you cannot be paralyzed by it, because you're going to find that while you're trying to freaking figure out font 8 to font 10, everyone and their mom has already helped the people that you're supposed to help. And guess what? You would have done it better because you're more passionate, but yet
Yeah.
other people are taking action and you missed it.
And let
So,
me tell you, when I first started my website, my business cards, nothing matched. Nothing
right.
matched. You know, it had typos, it had everything. It's like I didn't even ask anybody to proofread because I didn't have time. We just got to order this,
That's right.
like it's we'll figure it. They know what I mean.
That's right. Exactly. You know what? This is why you have amassed such success in a short amount of time, because of how you are showing up.
Hmm.
And that, life responds to people who are decisive and taking action.
Hmm.
Truly, in a nutshell, that's how. I don't like the word manifestation, but that's how, when you're a conscious creator, that's what you do. And for the listeners, I mean, honestly, pop over to YouTube, because you're going to see my background, man. I am not even in a home studio or anything. I'm on vacation. But when you're committed to your craft, you make it work. I'm on a bed here in my bedroom, and yeah, this
And
is
I
what you
think
do.
that's the part right there, right? Because it's like you're saying, I'm committed to my craft. And while somebody could look at this and be like, oh my God, she got to do this while she's on vacation, I'm looking at this like, oh my God, she gets to do this as her job and chooses to do this while she's on vacation.
Thank
It's
you.
like even like creating content or being whatever, like I can lay in the bed and do that. I can be on the beach somewhere. I always tell everybody, listen, I'm in a point in my life where all I want is literally lay in a cabana somewhere with a Bahama mama and just let it happen.
I love that. And hello, talking about your post. I've seen you on the bed freaking posting, and that's so real. This is why I connect with you so hard, because you know what? This is real life. It's not about the smoke and mirrors. You should see some of my reels, especially in the beginning. It's dark. It
Oh
doesn't
my God.
matter. I made a commitment. I was like, you know what? I'm going to show up. And Bianca, you're so good on video and you're so articulate also. Me, I was so afraid of showing
Me
myself.
too.
You
Me
too? Oh
too.
my gosh.
Me too.
But
Again,
we
we have
force ourselves,
action
right?
of the other person, like feeling like, oh, it's so easy for them. Do you know how much I cringe when I see myself in I can't even think about watching this back.
Are you serious right now? Oh no, stamp of approval.
Oh my
You
God.
are so seamless in all your stuff. But okay, I'm gonna call myself out here, guys. I could not even post a small 10-second clip of me without like my armpits sweating. That's how
Right.
nervous I was.
Like
Oh my God, it was
take
horrible.
56. Like I had to do it over and over and over. It was just so bad. And to be honest with you, it has gotten better. But the only reason why it has gotten better is because I've just been doing it more. I've just been forcing myself. It's kind of like one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. But you got to do it. It's like, because you don't have a boss that tells you to do it. So you just
Right.
got disciplined enough to just like really do it yourself and like really just like stretch yourself. We just have to stretch yourself because the thing is like a lot of people say, oh, I don't know how to make reels and I don't know how to do it. And I'm like, that's because you haven't played with it. You haven't tried. You just got to keep doing it. You got to, push the button, see what it does, play around with it. Like that's what I do in bed at night. Like while other people watch Netflix, I don't even know what's on Netflix.
Me too. Me too.
That's where I edit
Yeah,
videos late at night. I love it. That's my time, you know?
I absolutely love this. I'm telling you, man, you and me would just be in that Bahama whatever drink and like a cabana. Cause
Right.
yeah, and here's what we truly want to create is, for to me, abundance means is that you get to do whatever the hell you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want, and not have to think about anything else. And
Right.
whatever that amount is, who knows? It could be 5 million to some people, it could be 5,000 to some people. It
Right.
doesn't matter. What does that mean for you? And
Right.
Bianca, yeah, before we wrap up, I want to ask you, because you have so much life experience, and for our listeners, our audience, our amazing community, like if you could be in a time machine
Mhm.
and you could go back in time, what's the one thing that you would do differently?
Be more patient.
That's
Be
a good
more
one.
patient. Okay. Still, that's something I work on every single day. Be more patient. I'm just trying to be more patient and give yourself grace, set yourself realistic expectations. And I think the best way to do that is well, I'm going to do this and then this is going to happen. And then if that goal wouldn't happen, then I will get discouraged. But I didn't really put a timeline on when I would expect for that goal to actually be possible and realistically reachable, right? So even now, there is still so much progress. Like, even though I have made with digital marketing now $100,000 in 6 months. Okay, that's because I'm utilizing this whole system, which is insane. But where I'm kind of excited about it is like, okay, I've made $100,000 in 6 months, but I cannot wait to have $100,000 months, six-figure months. And I
That's
know
right.
it's possible because I've done that with permanent makeup. You see what I'm saying? So I know it's possible. And I see the progress happening in the digital space because I am now focused on that and I'm working on that. So I am not expecting a six-figure month now, even though I know that's the possibility, right? But I'm giving myself grace and I am saying I cannot wait 3 years from now.
I'm so excited, or sooner. And,
Or sooner. Then
or
great.
sooner. Exactly. We
Right.
don't know how we're going to get there. And that's the thing. Like, because you already know that it's there, you've already done it before, it's going to happen way faster than you can
Yeah.
imagine. And you have the fundamentals, you have the
Right.
processes. You are the person that you are, that I'm speaking with right now, and just like totally, so impressed by. And it's so hard to impress me. I don't care about material things, I care about the person.
Uh-huh.
That's why, like, I don't care how many followers a person has. They
Right.
could have zero followers, but if you are a good human being and you are doing better for yourself, you're trying to really provide, a solution to other people. And I mean, whether or not they take it, that's on them. But
Right.
that's, for me, that's what impresses me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what impresses me. And okay, so I'm still sticking you in that time machine.
Okay.
We're going on another journey. Last
Okay.
question for you is, in that same time machine, if you could go back to speak to your younger self, what's the one thing you would tell your younger self?
Whew. Um, I would probably say it's okay. You don't have to finish it all at once. Okay. And what I mean by that is it's okay for you to put that phone down and not answer messages. It's okay for you to put that phone down or that laptop down and, spend an hour with your kids or things like that. I definitely feel like because I am a very tunnel vision person, right? When I want it and I can go and then I don't want to stop. It's hard for me to stop. I would say take that time, get that balance because tomorrow is not promised. We know that. I have learned that firsthand, right? And time is something you can never get back.
That's beautiful. Wow, I have goosebumps here because it's life and it's true. And I had a son that had cancer. His right kidney has been removed. As a mother going through that, I was 6 months pregnant.
I can imagine.
Um, yeah, and you, with your loss and the tragedy and picking yourself back up, I never would have thought that you would have gone through anything like that with just how you present yourself. And I know things are smoke and mirrors, but there's also real people like you, like me, on social media. And I love how you debunk the, oh, that shit's a scam, when you show them proof. It's like, okay, you want to see receipts, homeboy? Here it is. Here's the receipts. And you're in your bed chilling, showing them how much money you made. Like,
Right.
that's amazing. And it's not to brag, but it's to impress upon them that this is possible for you.
Yeah.
So,
And I had
um,
to get past that. And I think, that's kind of like a mental block that I also had to work myself through. And that's advice for anyone else as well. It's hard to talk about money. And it's like the number one thing that, I come from a very humble background, very humble beginning. And it's kind of like I was raised in the mindset of like always like keep your head down, save your money, don't talk about your business. Money is the root of all evil, that type of thing. And it's really like it's a mind shift change, because it's really not. And nobody really wants to talk about money. And when you talk about money, it makes people uncomfortable, right? They get triggered by it. And I have to say, like, I was never really able to do that so much, even though I wanted to, when I was just solely doing permanent makeup. And even though I was training and really wanted to show students like what is possible financially. But I always kind of held back on that, because I always felt like I didn't want my clients to ever feel like it was on their expense, if that makes sense. You
Yeah,
see?
I understand.
And
Absolutely
so that
understand.
was like a mental thing, because I was also very concerned about really being respectful, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it is different in the digital space, because it's kind of like the Wi-Fi money, right?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I am now just saying like fuck it and just like putting it out there is because I cannot live my life based on somebody else being triggered. Number one.
That's right.
Okay. And also the other thing is I have to really consider, like, I started to sign up for that program because I saw people posting this way. That's what drew me in. So if that's what drew me in, then it will also draw other people in the same way, because it was not about, oh my God, it's like she's making all this money. It was like, no, that's possible. That's real.
Right.
And you're watching people, and yeah, there are definitely people out on the social media who are lying, right? We all know that. They're the pretenders, but you can see them. And when you're watching somebody and you're like, this is for real, like, this impresses me, right? And then I want to do that too. So that's the reason why I do it.
I think that's really super honest what you say, because the right ones that resonate with your message, your authenticity, knowing that your heart is coming from a pure place, to give them hope, not to show off. There's a
Mm-mm.
difference. Those are your people. And the rest, you know what? Okay, well, thanks for, passing by. And
Mhm.
that's that. I'd rather have the right ones in my life than,
Mhm.
like, anytime somebody unsubscribes to a newsletter, you know what? Okay, bye. Thanks
Fine.
for stopping by. And guess what? I have to pay for the damn emails. So
Right.
thanks for
Well,
telling
thank
me
you.
this
Yes.
is not for you. Thank you. You are giving space to the right ones and saving me. So thank you so much. But Bianca, I'm so grateful. I'm so honored. I want to say thank you so much for dropping freaking gold in, this platform, our community. And I'm so excited to collab with you again on future episodes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It was really an honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you. That's it for today's episode. So please remember, just to recap on this conversation, that you can absolutely start from where you're at, even if all odds are stacked against you. Bianca has an incredible and fascinating journey of resilience, triumph, and courage, and we can all learn from her experience. Be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode, where I take a deep dive on how to rediscover your true self after divorce. I'm going to be sharing a lot of amazing tips that's going to help you finally reconnect with your true self. If you want to truly learn more about how to reclaim your power after divorce, all the gold is in my email weekly newsletter called She Thrives. I'm going to drop the information in the show notes, so be sure to subscribe to my email weekly newsletter called She Thrives.